I wrong here? I mean, it's pretty hard to convince me that this is just the fringe of the Democratic Party at this point. This is who the Democrats are. The leadership isn't even condemning this kind of rhetoric from Maxine Waters.
This is the leadership. And, you see it all the time when we're talking about civility or this. They say, well, look, some random guy at a Trump rally said something mean one time. You say, right, that's true. But a major Democrat congresswoman, Maxine Waters, I think she's been around since the Jurassic era at this point. She's the one calling for gang violence. And it is worth wondering, what is it with the Democrats and gangs these days? All they do, they've spent the last few weeks defending MS-13, gangs crossing the border. Now they're saying you need to have gang violence and go and terrorize Republican politicians and their families, by the way. Let's not forget, if you say, go over and no peace, no sleep, keep them awake at night when you see them in their homes, that means terrorize their families, too. The way that walls work, I know Democrats don't know a lot about walls, but the way that walls work is that you can't just keep awake the guy in this room and not the little kids in this room. It is a bizarre campaign strategy as we go into the midterms. Mike Huckabee posted a tweet the other day. It was a bunch of these MS-13 guys with face tattoos, not looking very nice. And he said, this is the Democrat campaign committee. This is Pelosi's dream team. And then Maxine Waters proves him right. They're calling for gang violence. It's a mob mentality. And this is not just some random, strange, crazy thing on the left. This has been going on since the 1960s. Half a century ago, the left said, the personal is the political. Everything that is political is personal. We're going to go and we're going to destroy your personal lives. We're just seeing the flowering of that now in Maxine Waters. Nancy Pelosi tried to tamp this down, but there's no appetite to tamp it down. The left is out for blood. They're not just disagreeing with people. They're not trying to stop an agenda. They're trying to destroy individuals, and it's ripping apart the fabric of the civil society.
Well, I think, too, that the change between now and the 1960s, because you're right, this type of strategy was employed by the leftist radicals of that time, the Weather Underground, other domestic terrorists, far-left domestic terrorist groups here. But for the first time, they sort of dropped the camouflage, the mainstream left has, and they have stopped deflecting verbally away from what they're doing. Because in the past, they've been sort of like an illusionist. They've been like, oh, look at what I'm doing over here. Look at what I'm saying. And then secretly over to the left, they're enacting their radical liberal policies. Well, Maxine Waters just dropped that act. She dropped the camouflage. She's saying, no, I'm just going to say what we want you to do. We want you to harass these people. They don't care, by the way, that they're kids. Remember, Michael, kids are complicit in this, just like Ivanka Trump's son was in that photograph, just like Barron Trump was, which elicited that hateful tweet from Peter Fonda. The kids are complicit here. Democrats don't care about the children. They even targeted Sarah Huckabee Sanders' children when she was eating at that restaurant. She was there with her family, and they ran her out.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.